I'm right on time today. And if you are online dating, you need this about FaceTime. It is time to acquiesce to doing FaceTime on the first phone call. If you have been following me and you know about my One Love Online to Never Ending Love 7 Simple Steps to Digital Dating Success course and approach, you know that I have said no to the first time phone call FaceTime. Make no mistake, that first introductory phone call is seriously important for the man to make, to initiate in terms of him dialing your digits and contacting you. He must do it, but there are some caveats to it, and I'm going to get into that today on this live. So if you are not able to be here and make it live and ask your questions, that's okay, because stay tuned for this seriously helpful, it's the number one tip to make you stand out from all the other pretty puppies he's going to be interacting with online. And this is whether or not you are thinking like he's the one for you. You have to set it up so that if down the road you start to like him, you're going to be that much higher in his estimation for you to get what you want and deserve. So, for those who don't know, who am I to talk about this? I'm Coach Paula Grooms, a dating and relationship coach, social worker, and author of the book, Why Won't He Commit? How a Man Decides to Make You the One. I help you find a Mr. Right, get an ex back, or grow an existing relationship with a man you truly desire so you inspire him to give you the commitment you totally deserve. So, on this live, we are talking about one of the main steps in my One Love dating approach for online. And that is that you must guide things to a first phone call. There are a couple of main issues as to the importance of this. And first and foremost, you are setting yourself up for success. Because if you meet men from online just by them texting with you, just by you being on the app and interacting there, and you just go and meet him, you are seriously doing yourself a disservice for his interest to be high. Yours could be high regardless, but if you want real interest from the man, this is the way to get it. But more important is for you to put yourself at a high value level for him to attempt to achieve. If he is the type of man who doesn't make that first phone call, and again, make no mistake, in the course, I help you set it up correctly for him to dial your number, and that's going to make you give him the number. So I tell you how to do that in a high value way. I also recommend that you get a app number that's maybe not your number that you give out just for online dating. If you are here looking at this and thinking, I don't want to be online dating and I don't want to have to deal with this, I get that. I always say online dating, or I should rephrase that. I love online dating, said no woman ever, because it's not something that we're thrilled about, but we want to make it fun and exciting. And ding, 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 here's the tip for today. And we're going to go into it. You need to make it novel for the man. If you don't make it novel for him, it is lacking. And even if you do meet, you haven't set it up for him to be as interested in you as possible. So if you are interested, then you are going to have an easier time. That's what this is all about. Because you may say, well, I don't care if this guy's interested. Well, you may not initially. You may not from the first interactions. And here's why you may not. We women judge men on their dating skills. And this is a big mistake if you are looking for someone who is good in a relationship. Make no mistake, dating skills and relationship skills are two separate things. I would say the biggest player in the world will have tremendous dating skills. I mean, sweep you off your feet dating skills. That's not what is going to get you a fantastic relationship whereby you are valued, loved, wanted. And can it? In other words, can there be special breeds of men that have great dating skills and great relationship skills? Well, yeah, I'm sure they're out there. But generally speaking, one overtakes another. And in a very deep fashion, I think about a friend of mine, a man who I know tangentially, who he has tremendous dating skills and has a lot of success with women. Any woman he wants, basically, he gets and he has sex with. He's actually otherwise a decent guy. And so the women who he's pursuing and who interact with him feel that and really fall for him quickly. But his real relationship skills, in the way that we're talking about you wanting a man for relationship skills, a la, he is going to be supportive, faithful, loyal, respectful, value everything about you, be a good husband and maybe father. There are many in this example I'm giving that are there, but some are really lacking. And that's what I'm talking about, that you want across the board to not have characteristics that are going to cause you heartache, meaning not going to be faithful, not going to be loyal. What comes with being unfaithful? Dishonesty. So this is super important that you delineate the skill sets. You're looking for great relationship skills. That may leave you wanting initially, and you may not be as titillated, interested, inspired, what have you. But if you are looking for marriage, children in a marriage, you have to be seriously mindful that you can look at one of my videos about this. The biggest red flag is going to be off the charts chemistry. And I won't go into that here. It's off topic a bit. So look at that. The number one red flag, and that's here on my channel. Look at that, because it's really, really important, and why chemistry is such a dicey and sometimes even dangerous thing if you're looking to go the distance. So let's get into this FaceTime because so many of you will be saying, well, Paula, you have, hey, hey, thanks, Jay. So nice. I'm going to put that up because that's really nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So you want to be thinking about doing FaceTime for the first phone call because it's just the way things are going now in online dating. I made this course several years ago, and it came from many years of my doing online dating and honing in on exactly the 7 steps, making it formulaic so you can do it easily without the frustration and without the time suck of online dating. And really just get to a few good meetings. I am not a numbers gal here for online. Many coaches will say, well, it's a numbers game. Meet as many men as you can, and then, one will inspire your interest. I say, no, 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 because I don't want you to waste your time. I remember somebody came to me years ago and she said, I had a coach who said, you meet every man who wants to meet you. And I was floored. It's like, seriously? Because they're going to come out of the woodwork uh, when you're online wanting to potentially meet you. And and she was just going from texting in the app to meeting them, which is no. And one of the main, like I just went into the main reasons why you don't do that. You're not setting yourself up as a woman of value. You are not automatically filtering out men who are just there to consume you. Meaning, online dating for them can be much more fun than it is for women because they get to just have time with women, which whether it's for just, they can just have fun with it. Whereas we don't date just for fun. Studies have shown this. Men date for one reason and one reason only, and that is for the potential for short term sexual interactions. And when you know that that's what the research shows, meaning most men, you will talk to them and know this. What are they looking for? I don't know. I just want a nice girl, or I just want to be dating, or they're not really saying, listen, I want to meet women, have sex with them, and I don't know if I want a relationship or not. Or maybe I don't want one at all, but I want to have sex. So you have to be very mindful of this. And it is our job, if we like a man enough, to guide him to what inspires him to want more. This isn't about manipulating him to want more. We want him to truly want that from you if that's what you want. And it's a combination, you'll know from my book, it's a combination of 5 factors and his readiness, willingness, and capability to be in a committed long-term relationship. So this first time phone call, which is an introductory, sets you up in the value category for relationship rather than just to have fun, immediately filters out the guys who just want to get sex and something quick. And whatever woman takes the bait so that they self-soothe and amuse themselves with time with women. You don't want that guy. I would rather you, if you have hundreds of men who are DMing you and want to be with you, I would rather you have one good first meeting a month with somebody rather than 3 a week and they're not appropriate or they're not real possibilities. You want to really vet somebody, and that's what this first phone call is about, in addition to showing him I'm of value, which he will see that because you're showing I don't just go and meet any guy from online who wants to interact with me. I'm not that needy. I'm a diamond in the jewelry store. So I'm not with all the other, costume jewelry there. You see? And this isn't in a snooty, snobby way at all. It's just that's what I know. And I'm looking for something that's meaningful for my time. That's what a man who potentially could be in a relationship will show you, that he will give you that deference. And of course, in my course, which there is a big savings until the end of today, which is the biggest online dating day of the year, which is ding, 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 today. That's right. The Sunday following New Year's Day is the biggest online dating day of the year. That's when everybody goes on. So you may say, well, then it's like I'm just part of the fray and, I'll get lost in the mix. Not necessarily. No, not at all. Because men are going on now, and the newness and freshness of it can be good. And I talk about this in the course too, which it's really important to use the algorithms to your advantage. And that means when you are on, for whatever amount of time you are on, say you go on this month, you want to be checking 3 times a day. Yeah. Because if not, you just get passed by. And you want to be interacting immediately with someone. In other words, it's not like meeting someone organically. Hey. Hi, Paula. Oh, I have to put that up, Mimi. Oh, my goodness. That is so wonderful. Oh, so beautiful. How nice. I remember Mimi. And that's really only talking a couple of times, I think, which is really nice. I am so happy for that. Fantastic. Yeah. So thank you for that comment. And glad you're here. And it's so easy in a sense, or should I say, it's so simple, this little tweak and tip that if you use now, you have to have fun with it. But when you do, it can be a game changer. And I'm going to give it to you there's going to be an acronym that goes with it so that you remember. Because unless you're going to keep coming back to this video, and which if you need to, great. But the acronym for the first FaceTime, this is the first phone call, introductory, and it's so simple how you get there. Well, I'm just going to give it to you in a quickie, but it's in the course if you get it. And today, $110 off until the end of the day, and you get a full coaching experience with me with the purchase. You get a full coaching experience where we can talk about, maybe you are online dating, but maybe you have an ex somewhere there that you're maybe interacting with, or some other guy you're interacting with, and you want to maybe bring that more to the forefront. We can talk about that as well. In other words, you use that time how you want that time, that one coaching, one time experience with me that you get with the course. But the course is yours for a lifetime. And if you're online dating, it is it's really, women say it's a game changer because it takes out the frustration the thinking about it, the how you text, the how you get him to that first phone call. But you do, which is simply after 4 or 5 interactions online, you say, hey, I think chatting to hear each other's voice and to introduce ourselves is worth 20 texts back and forth. I'm game if you are. Here's my number. I'm free now for a few minutes or tonight after 7. You have to be ready. And then he will text you, call. I have all the different variations in the course that can happen. But I used to be of the mind, because I didn't like, I should say, the idea of FaceTime before you meet in person. The problem is now it has become so pervasive that we cannot buck the reality of this. So I'm going to give you this acronym of SMILE, and with it, you'll get all the steps to have this go the best way. And the biggest tip of all about the novelty. So I'm going to tell you right here and now. For the mammalian brain, men, women, mammals, you can use this with any mammal, even without words. For focus, there's nothing as effective as novelty. And so we're going to get into how you create the novelty. It's very simple on this first FaceTime. That gives you his focus. And the way I'm going to tell you, it also creates wonder, which is really important for men. If you know about my book, please get it if you don't. Men love through wondering. We love through knowing. They love through wondering. So you must create this wonder. And part of this is, so we're going to talk about the acronym SMILE. Love it because you have to smile for sure. First thing, the S. You need, if you're going to do the FaceTime, to set it up. And we're going to go into the novelty of this. But the setup is also, you've got to think about what's going to be novel. And then you also want to set up your environment and the lighting. Each to his own, or her own, I should say, in terms of what you are comfortable with. But many women have bucked the FaceTime, and I understand this, because it's still a flat, one-dimensional thing. And your beauty is not going to be as I don't know the word, maybe as overwhelming to him as in person, because that's the pheromones, and there's nothing as good as in person for sure. But we're just using this like you used your photos in your online profile to gain his interest. So you're going to have to be presentable in a way that's very comfortable for you. So if you need to get the little, the circle thing with the lighting that you can put your phone in, you can, do that. And I actually think it's a really good idea, because if you're going to be online, spend the $30 to get this thing, and you're going to practice with it, setting it up. Where are you going to set it up? What's your background? Is the lighting good for you? Etc. We need to do that so you feel most comfortable. Because if it's dark, it's, again, the novelty comes in now. You won't feel good about it. And if you are uncomfortable, it's not going to go as well as it could. So set it up, meaning be ready. And we're going to go to the next one, which is the M of smile. Make it novel. Okay, how do we do that? So I just listened to a great guy. He is I think he might be a profiler. And he was talking about this under the context of allowing for people who do Zoom calls for sales to use novelty to keep someone on that Zoom sales call for a longer time. So they get to know him or her, and they can get a read on more of what profiles and how to sell that person. But you can use this in this first FaceTime brilliantly. So what it is we need to create some novelty and some movement. So, oops. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on for me. Oh my goodness. Oh, jeez. I just thought I spilled. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just did that in a very brief way to you here. It might have sparked, if you were listening to me before, it might have sparked something in you like, oh, what just happened? Novelty. So this you need to use right away to capture more of his interest. Because let's face it, if a guy is used to getting on a FaceTime with a woman, he calls, she answers, she sits there looking at him, hello, hi, looking at him. Yeah, hi, how are you? I'm glad you called. Normal, yes, it is, but boring and doesn't capture any kind of novelty. Here puts LOL. Yeah, he's not going to really remember it. It's not going to be, it's just another pretty face that you are. Well, that's all fine and good, but let's have something to talk about, right? So this guy used the example of that when the sales call started, the Zoom call, he automatically had people like, oh my gosh, and go out of the frame, like I did. And I am so sorry. My dog just, can you hold on for a moment? Can you hold on for one moment? My puppy just tipped my water over and I just want to clean that up. Hold on. So sorry. Hold on. And they went off camera and came back. It created interest. And he said, those folks got the person to stay on the call 70% longer. Now, we're not trying to get him to stay on longer because it's going to be one of the, in the acronym here, it's going to be the last one. No, we're not trying to get him to stay on. We're trying to get his interest up by something novel, different. And it also creates a bit of a connection when something happens, even like, for example, you're out, you're walking, and someone in front of you drops something. What do you do immediately? Oh, miss, and you get it and you bring them. There's that little bit of connection. It is different than the usual. You want to use novelty. Okay, here's another way you can do that. If that's uncomfortable for you to do, you can, now again, I'd like you to get one of the things that holds your phone. So it's on a stick. That can be helpful. But it can simply be, hey, Bill, hey, glad you called. Can you hold on for me 1 second? I want to put my earbuds in and hold on 1 second. And, you fumble with the phone. Now, you might be thinking, oh, he's going to think like, what's wrong with this girl? I told her I was going to call or something. It just doesn't create that. It's like, what's going to happen next? You see? You can do that. It can be, hey, Bill, and I'm glad you called. I'm just stepping out to walk my doggy, but come along with us. And then you turn the phone. Yeah, there he is. That's my boo. Yeah, 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 yeah. But so glad you could. And now your phone is moving, and maybe he's seeing some of the environment. Now you don't want to use your street, you don't want to use your address necessarily, but you can do that. And your walking is of more interest than you just, again, sitting there staring into the phone on a FaceTime. Some novelty. Maybe you are doing something. I don't know, you're doing the dishes, like, there you are with the gloves. Oh my gosh, Bill, you caught me. I got to take these gloves off. Hold on 1 second. And you take some time. You see? Those ideas. Come up with something that you are going to be comfortable with. Maybe practice with a girlfriend. So we're going through smile, set it up, make it novel. The third, the I. I like for you to use one time in the call an I bet statement. So you start the call, you do this novel thing, and then so tell me something about yourself. Bill? Who's Bill? You say it that way. So tell me, who's Bill? He says, well, I'm an executive in such and such, and on the weekends, I like to sail and I run a bit. And actually, I'm working on a fictional novel, my life. Who knows what? You just want to use one I bet statement. I bet you're the kind of guy who is a take no prisoners kind of guy. Something like that. I bet you're the kind of guy who, when you set your mind to something, you do it. So I bet you're going to finish that novel. Or I bet you are a really good brother because of what he said before. You're just making a blanket statement. You didn't ask him any questions, but you're going to get a lot of information from that. Now, let's not make it negative, like, I bet you've been on 1 million online dates. No. Something that you can glean positive about him. I bet you're really good at whatever it is, fixing things, figuring out problems, or I bet you're a really good problem solver. Or you can use that. It's the same thing. You sound like the kind of guy, but I bet. So again, set it up, novelty, use one I bet statement. It's going to get him talking, and you will get more information about him. Even if it's something that I bet it was difficult for you to do XYZ. It's not quite as good as a positive, but if you're hearing something like he says, I lost my wife, and then I raised, the kids when they were young on their own, and now that they're teens, it's blah, blah, blah. I bet that was seriously important in your life, and that you have a really amazing relationship with them because of it. Now, If that's not true, he'll correct you. Actually, no. I had such a difficult time when my wife first died, and I spent a lot of time in grief, and my mother was caring for the kids. It's one thing I really regret. Well, then you can say something nice from it, like, wow, well, that's really an amazing thing for your life now. And then he'll say, yeah, I've really straightened up. I was drinking for a while and I stopped, and now, yeah, you're right. I'm really in a good place. See, it's a little deeper and not just about where do you live, what do you do, online dating, dating history. So one I bet statement, and it'll make you be thinking in your interaction with him, which will be good. Okay. The L in smile is let him talk. Do less talking. The profile that I'd like to listen to, he also says, the more information you want to get from someone, the less you talk. Mm-hmm. It sounds oxymoronic, but it's true that the more sensitive information, the less questions you ask and the less you talk. So let him talk. And then the E, which is very important, end it first. Do not let him be the one to end it. And I have this in the course. Very easy. It's a 20-minute thing tops. And I have exactly the statements in the course that you want to use to get off of the phone. Because a big mistake I see women make all the time with men who don't know them yet, they haven't gone out yet, is that they say, well, I got to get going now. Sends the wrong message to the man. He believes from a statement like that, you just don't like him. You don't like talking to him. You want to go. Doesn't help you at all. And you don't take control of it, which is vitally important, because this is your best shot at getting that first meeting without a lot of texting in between. You need to lock down a first meeting if you know that you want to meet this man. And this FaceTime or call, because you could do all of this on a phone call, make no mistake. You don't have to do the novelty part on the first phone call, but you can. It's harder to do when there's not a visual, but you may think of ways you can do that, even on just an audio call. But you want to end this by saying something very specific that you must go and do. And you start it with a positive about him, whether you want to meet him or not. And again, this is all in the course if you need a review of this. And again, go there today, get the discount, because you get a one-time coaching experience with me. And then we can talk about any of these further questions that you might have about doing it. So you decide on this phone call, is this somebody, how do I feel? Is this somebody I'm going to take my good time and meet? Even though it's going to be a brief meeting and it's not going to be coffee and it's not going to be dinner. And I'll leave you with that. Most of you here know where I recommend you do your first meeting. And it's very, very important that you go to an environment that is relaxing, titillating to some degree, in that it's kind of date-like, but it's date-like light. So it's no coffee. Coffee's what you do with a friend, and it's very interview-esque. No coffee. And dinner is too much. If he asks to meet for dinner, I have in the course how you guide him. And Jameer, I'll get to your comment in a second. So you want to decide right then and there, is this someone I want to be meeting? And even if I don't, you end it like this. So, Bill, I'm really glad you called. It's what online is all about. I have a call that I have to make in 15 minutes. It's a Zoom call with my colleagues on this project we're doing, and I'm not really ready. I got to do a couple of things before it. I just want to let you know you have a really nice voice or something positive, or it's been really pleasant talking to you. Then you wait. He should say, oh, well, would you want to talk again? Ding, ding, ding. Now you pull out, I enjoyed talking so much that I would be more inclined to meet for a quick happy hour, drink, whatever. You say it like that. Happy hour, because I'm under the, impression and feeling that one meeting is worth 10 phone calls. Or one meeting in person is worth 10 phone calls. Again, I'm game if you are. Now, many rules people or coaches would say, that's too forward. You're asking him out. No, you have to understand that he doesn't know you from anybody. He doesn't want to be necessarily too forward. He also, if he's been online at all, he doesn't know what you want and what will please you. Men online get all manner of different needs and wants. One woman wants to talk minimally for 2 months before ever meeting. Another doesn't want to talk at all. She only wants to meet from texting. It is endless, the different variations, and he doesn't know. So he takes the path of least resistance. When you show, I'm going to make this easy without a lot of mishgas, not a lot of drama. No, just we meet. That's it. He will be grateful and say, sure. And then you set something up tentatively right then and there. Get something on the books. So not a lot of texting back and forth about the where, the when, the how. Okay. So again, more in the course on this, but I'm giving you an overview. And I'm going to post this so you can get the course, because again, for today, because it's the biggest online dating day of the year, I'm going to give you that special. So you do that if you want to meet him. And here's what you do if you don't. You can say, it's been really nice talking to you. It's what online is all about. I really appreciate you making this call. A couple of things can happen. He can say, okay, would you want to meet? You can do this if you want to make it just easier for yourself and not awkward. You can say, oh, that might be nice. Why don't you text me at some point and we'll figure it out? And you say, great talking to you, gotta go, and you hang up. Now, if and when he texts, you have it written out. Very, again, formulaic. Thanks, Bill. It was great talking to you. As I said, it's what online is all about. But call it women's intuition. I don't feel that we would be a match, and I wish you all the best in your search. Now, you can add in, I don't feel that we would be a match, and I don't want to waste your time. All the best in your search. Smiley face. Most men who have any agency about them at all will say, thanks for letting me know, or they just won't say anything at all. Some jerks will like, how do you know from that? Very dismissive, something. You just, after that, block him on the app, block him. That's it. And second of all, you're only giving him your app number. It's not your real number anyway. So that's if you don't want to meet him. So if you do, if you don't. For some, if you really practice it, you can get right then and there when you're on the phone. And I got to that point. of, Bill, I'm going to be honest with you, call it women's intuition, but I don't feel we would be a match. I'm really not inclined to meet. And so I don't want to waste your valuable time. I appreciate you calling. Have a great night. Take care. And good luck in your search. And you hang up the phone. That's it. But you don't have to get there. You can do that in text after. So if you use this SMILE acronym, you set it up. You make it novel. You use an I bet statement. You let him do the talking, and then you end it first. And you end it in those ways I'm talking about. You are going to help yourself use FaceTime in a way that benefits you greatly and moves the needle on your dating. So let's take some Q&A. Jamari, I didn't go hiking yesterday. The guy I met there was probably expecting me around noon. He sent a meme that I didn't understand, so I didn't answer. Nothing from him since. I've been not reaching out. I've been responding when he directly asked me a question. He says he's looking to get engaged this year. I thought he would be more consistent. Maybe it's too early. Okay. My sense is that you are confusing him. And here's how. So you didn't go hiking yesterday, which is okay. The guy you met there was, like you said, probably expecting you, yes. And then around noon, which sounds like it's probably pretty soon after the hike, he sent you a meme. You didn't understand it. Unless it was off color or you were offended in some way, you needed to answer it. Otherwise, what does he think? You see, you're at the early stages. You might be confused about what you would be doing more towards when you're interacting. Or my sense is, and correct me if I'm wrong, you are feeling like you don't know what to do, so you don't do anything. Okay, but here's a simple fix with that. You don't know what he means by the text, the meme. Just put the question mark on it. You don't have to use words, but show I'm interested in interacting with you. I just don't know what you mean. If you'd done that, you would have gotten something going. But he just thinks this ignoring, and it's a mixed message. So I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense to you, Jamara? It's a really good question. It's not that it's too early. It's, I thought he would be more consistent. Well, you are not being consistent. So he doesn't know what to do. Let's see. Let me see. He said, oh boy. So this was yesterday. Makes sense. Okay. This was yesterday that this interaction was. So, okay, let's clean it up. Clean up on aisle hiking guy. It's simply, oh, wow, so-and-so, I don't know how I missed this. I'm not sure I'm reading it right. And if it's a funny meme or something, you say, I think I'm being a little dense. Tell me about this. Something like that. It's that simple. Don't know how I missed your text yesterday. You don't even have to say anything about the meme. You can go right, oh, wow, Bill, don't know how I missed your text yesterday. I was a bit under the weather, so didn't join the hiking. And maybe it was the Dayquil that did it. LOL. Simple. Doesn't have to be, yeah, okay, I'll try that. Good. Doesn't have to be major. He will answer you right away. Now you be consistent. Consistent doesn't mean you're the one reaching out, but you need to consistently answer him. especially in the beginning. If he's showing some interest, you just receive it and you respond. Anybody who needs it, look at my 5 R's of texting here. That is on the playlist of dating and probably texting. Very important how to use emojis in text. Because if you had just put the question mark, use those little things on iPhones, or if you have an Android, I think there's still a way you can do them. Maybe they come up big, but okay. Or yeah, the little face would have been good. That one, like, don't get it. Anytime you can use emojis to convey a feeling, that's always good to do. Because feeling is better than words. But in this video, I wanted to make sure that I corrected something that needed correction because there's been a change. And many men will not now go and meet online without having a first FaceTime. And it's okay. And you will be getting a sense of him by doing these things, especially the I bet statement and letting him talk. You will get a lot more out of him than by asking direct questions. I bet you're the kind of guy who, something positive, that's going to get him questions. End it first, set it up, S, make it novel, M, an I bet statement, I, L, let him talk, and E, end it first, and get to that first meeting in person. That's what it's all about. And then you will have set it up for yourself whereby you can really see in that short first meeting, and not dinner, not coffee. I'm also not a big one on things that are like a walk. No, it's not deep like enough. So really there is a sweet spot. Again, that's in the course. I hope you will get it. I have put it here in the comments. I will make sure the link is in the description. I hope to be talking to you personally with any issue, because you will have the one-time experience in the One Love course. You can use that at any time by just connecting to Michelle and setting up the time with her to have that full coaching experience with me, to ask any further questions about this or anything else that's going on, because concurrently there's likely other men in your life that you might have questions about, and we can talk about that. I trust this was helpful today. I know this tip about all of this is going to make a huge difference in your first time phone call or FaceTime. So use it to your advantage, level up, and you will get the commitment you desire and deserve. So until next time, love you all. Thank you for being here. See you next time. You're welcome. Bye.